Charlas de la noche. Palabras con imagen. El análisis de los acontecimientos que influyen en nuestra vida con el periodista Francisco Durán Rosillo.
Frank Durán Rosillo te saluda y los saluda a todos ustedes, su amiga María Celeste Raraz, para invitarlos a que se suscriban a mi canal de YouTube, María Celeste Raraz, tal como mi nombre, donde les informo todas las semanas sobre entrevistas que tienen un tema que ayuda a mejorarnos como personas y de paso son interesantes. Las pueden encontrar en mi canal de YouTube, así que los espero. Y se suscriben gratis.
Ya está por demás repetirle a la gente en México que entiendan que Donald Trump está hasta aquí de Morena. Ya finalmente en una conferencia de prensa hace unas horas ya lo dijo claramente, porque la mentirosa corchorrata que se robó la elección, Claudia Sheinbaum, la títere de López, la como le llaman popularmente la presirvienta, dice, no, es que se refiere a la administración de Calderón con el que era director de la Policía Federal, que está detenido, whatever. No, señoras y señores, la realidad es que México tiene un narcoestado fallido, un narcogobierno, y si muchos lo dudan, pues se los vuelvo a recalcar, porque muchas veces se los digo y no les pongo los videos para no cansarlos, pero ahora sí, yo soy el que está cansado de ver que mucha gente no entiende. Y Donald Trump se le está agotando su paciencia y realmente tengo entendido que ya en el día de hoy en que se declaran los carteles, organizaciones narcoterroristas, empieza ya la aplicación del Patriot Act, el acto patriota. Por favor, vean la traducción, la letra está muy pequeña, pero escuchen o lean con atención.
What can you tell us about the CIA drone flights over Mexico? Is this the next step in the war against the cartels?
Well, we're going to see.
Should they have authority to take lethal action?
Mexico's allowed a tremendous number of people to go through their country into ours, and even people coming from Mexico, and illegals, totally illegal. They've allowed people to empty jails into Mexico and then let them come through with this totally ridiculous open border policy of the Biden administration. So millions of people have come in, and hundreds of thousands, and actually millions are criminals. They came in from jails all over the world. They'd release them into Mexico and they come into our country. And they also came in from Canada, by the way, large numbers through Canada. In fact, when we closed up the one border, they came in through the other border. So Canada is not an uninterested party. But I will say this, we're dealing with Mexico. I have a very good relationship with Mexico, but I think Mexico is largely run by the cartels, and that's a sad thing to say, and if they wanted help with that, we'd give them help. But Mexico, if you look at what's gone on with Mexico for years now, but now especially, it's run by the cartels, and they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from jails and prisons of other countries from all over the world, not just South America, Africa, Asia, all over, a lot from the Congo in Africa, a lot. They opened their jails, they came in through Mexico, and we have some of the worst criminals coming in from the Congo and other places. So it's not just South America, and it's not just Venezuela, but they opened their jails. And you know, the crime rates in Venezuela and other places all over the world has gone way down. You know why? Because they've given us their prisoners, they've given us their drug lords and their gang members, and it's hard to believe that we accepted this. It's hard to believe that we allowed open borders, and We're taking in, hundreds of thousands and millions of people coming in from all over the world that are absolute stone-cold criminals. In fact, 11,088 murderers, and many of those people have murdered more than one person. Why are they giving us these people, and why are we taking these people under Biden? You had a border czar that never went to the border. Happened to be a vice president, never went to the border, never called the border people. I call them all the time. I speak to them all the time. But here's the good news. We have the most secure border we've ever had right now. As secure and even more secure than I had it 4 years ago. And the Border Patrol is doing incredible. ICE is doing incredible. Tom Homan's unbelievable, and Kristi Noem has been just working very, very hard, very, very hard. And we have the best numbers we've ever had, and we're going to keep it that way. And we're going to find out how a thing like this could happen.
Bueno, pues para muestra basta un botón. Ahora el Pentágono había listado miles de soldados que ya están en la frontera, reforzando la malla metálica, reforzando la vigilancia por drones, por satélite y además físicamente con vehículos artillados que yo les he presentado ya aquí en varios programas, no vale la pena repetir. Bueno, ahora lo que se viene es que ya la frontera ya no va a ser el juego de los narcos que le cobraban a la gente con un soplete, rompían o cortaban un pedazo de metal y por ahí dejaban entrar o les ayudaban con escaleras a trepar el muro fronterizo para que pasaran. No. Ahora ya va a haber sectores del muro fronterizo electrificados y además el tipo o la manera de repeler a los carteles que también están armados del lado mexicano es que si tratan de transgredir o herir a elementos de Homeland Security, de lo que es la patrulla fronteriza, el Border Patrol o soldados del Pentágono, ya se les autorizó disparar. O sea, como decía mi maestro Carlos Fuentes, que la frontera México-Estados Unidos es la herida más grande del mundo, que cada día sangra, miles de heridos y de muertos, lo cual no ha parado, ha crecido. Por el contrario, ahora se ve que la cortina de hierro de la Guerra Fría ha sido movida a esta barda de hierro entre México y Estados Unidos históricamente va a marcar un parámetro, no solo en la geopolítica, sino también en la manera de los negocios, no solo del TEMEC, sino las negociaciones diplomáticas y esa relación norte-sur, este-oeste de muchos países se va a ver reflejada en este muro. Porque no se trata solamente del cruce de mexicanos miembros de los carteles de la droga o gente que necesita encontrar un empleo. Recuerden que por allí cruzan chinos, argentinos, peruanos, cubanos, guatemaltecos, hondureños, de todas las nacionalidades se han encontrado en esta frontera. Recientemente encontraron en Nassau una isla pues que pertenece a Estados Unidos. Miles de chinos que llegaban ahí por el océano en lanchas rápidas y de allí eran traficados por las mafias hacia los Estados Unidos. O sea, la inmigración trata de seguir, trata de sobrevivir, trata de repeler las acciones del presidente Donald Trump. Pero como él lo dice muy bien en su discurso, no va a parar. Tom Homan, el zar de la frontera y el zar contra la inmigración indocumentada, pues, o como lo dice Donald Trump, aunque algunas instituciones como el New York Times se han comprometido a no llamar ilegal por el hecho de que no es ilegal buscar una oportunidad de vida, un empleo. Pero, como Donald Trump lo dice, muchos gobiernos como Venezuela, Nicaragua, mismo México, han vaciado sus prisiones de criminales para cruzarlos a Estados Unidos. Entonces, sí es inmigración ilegal. Desafortunadamente, quieramos o no queramos llamarlo así, esta situación se ha salido de control. Y el gobierno mexicano lo que ha hecho es amonestar a las caravanas que ya no crucen en grupo, que vengan de 2 o 3 distanciados, que ya no sean grupos grandes. Pero la frontera sur en Chiapas no ha sido cerrada. La frontera sur sigue abierta y Claudia Sheinbaum no está cumpliendo con su compromiso y los generales del ejército y de la marina que han posado para fotos frente a laboratorios de los carteles, se ha confirmado que han sido laboratorios que fueron abandonados hace 1 o 2 meses. O sea, en simples cuentas, no están cumpliendo con lo acordado para hacer un acuerdo de seguridad y cumplir con Estados Unidos. Para mi audiencia en inglés, se los repito y se los digo de mi ronco pecho, yo no uso script, yo no hablo cosas inventadas, pero sí me documento. Just for your attention, for my English speaker listeners and audience, Mexico and United States have an agreement of 30 days deadline made between Presidents Donald Trump and Claudia Sheinbaum in regard of closing the southern Mexican border and the northern Mexican border to stop massive caravans of migrants trying to use Mexico to come to the United States of America. But Claudia Sheinbaum and her manipulator, the former president Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who is a dictator, are manipulating the situation, the information, and they never close the border. What they do in Chiapas on the southern border is they advise with a piece of paper to migrants, print in several languages, because up there cross Chinese, a lot of people from Africa, Nicaraguan, Venezuelans, people from major dictatorships, and as you heard from Donald Trump, such governments empty their jails to make the caravans. So this advice is, please, don't, when you cross Mexico and you go to the northern border, don't walk like a group. Split in 2 or 3 people. We don't like the mass media catch a massive group going to the northern border. And it's what they are doing. They reduce the massive caravans in groups of 2 or 3 people, so American authorities cannot realize that there are still huge caravans using Mexico to go to the northern border. The other issue that American media is going to weaponize, because they were checking by drones and military ships and intelligence planes that the way of operation of the drug cartels have labs on many rural areas of Mexico. The General Trevilla, the head of the Mexican army, have a huge press conference in the middle of a rural area telling, "Oh, my soldiers, stop fentanyl or opioids laboratories here. We are fighting against the drug traffickers." Is not true. Many people from the audience say that such labs were abandoned by the drug cartels 3 months ago. So the current fight against the drug cartels is only for the mass media, for the media circus, to take a picture and say blah, 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 but is not existing, because the former Mexican president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, is still managing and protecting of his policy of hugs, no shots, the drug cartels. And the current Morena government, who manipulates the justice system, the health situation that is chaotic in Mexico, and everything, they are trying to make up for President Trump a situation that in Mexico is not happening. Mexico and President Trump is right. Mexico is still manipulated, the government, by the drug cartels. Mexico is still having massive caravans crossing both borders, southern and northern. American government is now trying to apply other policies to repel and stop drug and people traffickers. So we will see in the near days, when the deadline of the 30 days came up, how Donald Trump is going to prove to the Mexican government that they are liars. They haven't met the agreement made by phone between Trump and Sheinbaum. And the worst is that this situation is jeopardizing the largest commercial agreement that makes of Mexico the main commercial partner of the United States. Because Donald Trump is a businessman. With all my respect, he is not stupid, and he is not going to tell American business, invest money in a government, in a country that is not recognizing United States of America as a good partner. So Mexico is repelling all the advice. They accept 20 people from Marines to advise Mexican Marines, but Mexican government is not helping United States by fact. And Mexico is lying. The Mexican government is lying to Donald Trump. So be careful, Claudia Sheinbaum. You are playing with fire, and it's time that you tell American authorities where is hiding the former president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who is a criminal, beside his sons and too many politicians who are stealing a lot of money from the Mexican government and helping drug cartels that are making the streets of Mexico land of nobody, because the Mexican army is not helping to keep safe the country. American Marines need to combat, beside cartels, the Mexican army, unfortunately, because there is no justice, there is not a clean policy on this regard. Thank you. Have a good night.
Frank Durán Rosillo te saluda y los saluda a todos ustedes, su amiga María Celeste Raraz, para invitarlos a que se suscriban a mi canal de YouTube, María Celeste Raraz, tal como mi nombre, donde les informo todas las semanas sobre entrevistas que tienen un tema que ayuda a mejorarnos como personas y de paso son interesantes. Las pueden encontrar en mi canal de YouTube, así que los espero. Y se suscriben gratis.
Escuchaste el análisis de la noticia, transparente como el agua, con el periodista Francisco Durán Rosillo.